Today we will be exploring the inner workings of homes. These include the electrical panel, HVAC system, and water system. Each home is equipped slightly different. So there will be 3 different homes shown: an apartment, the first house, and the second house. This is the electrical panel in the first house. It's clearly labeled main. Then there's a list telling you places in the house that correlate to each circuit breaker, which are those black rectangles. The first house also has a secondary panel, and you know it's not the main because there are not those black rectangles at the top, and it's not labeled main. But you want to know where the main panel is in case of emergency. Now we're going to move to the electrical panel in the second house, and this is my dad just explaining a little bit more.
Amps, and these go to the individual circuits in the house. So, and you usually make a list. This one's the well, and there's 2. They're tied together. That's 220 volts. And then the rest are 15 and 20. Usually the 20 amps are for the kitchen. And if these are in the middle, that means that they tripped. And to reset it, you bring it all the way to the left, and then back all the way to the right.
And what about her
on the side? And if you want to shut it, you flick it the other way. You won't shut this off. This is the main power, only for an emergency for that. But you will shut all of these off first, and then you can shut that off.
This is the main electrical panel in the apartment, and it's the same as both the houses. This is the main water shutoff in the first house, clearly labeled. This type of valve is called a gate valve. All you have to do is twist right to shut off the water. This house has city water since it's just a pipe coming into the basement, and that black cylinder is the water meter, which is how you get billed. The second house has a ball valve, and here's a quick demo.
So this one shut off, see that? And this one's on, so I turn this, and now the water shut off. Turn this, and the water's on.
This is the pump for well water. And notice in the first house, it was just a pipe that came through the basement, whereas well water, you have a whole nother tank set up. This is the main water shutoff in the apartment. It took me forever to find this because not every first floor staircase has a shutoff. It supplies water to the entire apartment complex, so it's a bit different from a house. Shutting this off will cut water to the entire apartment complex, so don't do that. And again, this one has a gate valve, so you just turn it and shut the water off. Next, I will be showing you the different systems that each home has when it comes to heating water and heating the house.
On-demand hot water.
On-demand hot water.
Yeah.
So tankless water heater.
So it's tankless. So
That's crazy.
As soon as this detects water flow, the water comes in. It detects water flow. The flame turns on, goes through a heat exchanger, heats up the water, comes out the other pipe, goes through a hot water.
Basically, what he's saying is that the water heats up on demand when you request it, like turning on a faucet, therefore giving you, quote, unlimited hot water. The first house has a gas furnace. To heat the home, a fire is created with gas. Air is needed to keep the fire going. This air comes from the outside of the house and travels through one PVC pipe. The fumes from the fire travel through the other PVC pipe to be released outside. This fire heats up the pipes inside the unit and makes them hot. Then these tinfoil looking things are the air ducts.
Yeah, this one brings it in.
Takes the air from the inside of the house and brings it to the fire, and then using a fan, it blows the hot air between the pipes, and when the air passes the hot pipes, it becomes hot and circulates through the home from the floor vents because hot air rises and cool air sinks.
Okay.
The second house uses an oil burner to heat domestic water and heat the house. This blue thing heats the water in the hot water tank. That water can be used to shower or it can be used from a sink. The blue thing also heats the water that circulates the house. These pumps pump the water to each section of the house, like the kitchen, living room, etc. Then that water goes to the radiators, which heats the house. This is a hot water tank in the apartment. The electrical wire is on the top, which is how it heats up. After it hits a certain temperature, it shuts off. It's not, quote, unlimited because the tank is physically holding the water, just like in the second house. This is an electric baseboard, which means the home is heated by electricity. And here's a thermostat where you can control the temperature. That's the switch. Then it connects to the modem, which is a black box. The modem allows you to connect to the internet through your service provider, and the switch allows you to add more devices to the internet if the modem is at full capacity.
This is how we get our internet from here. From here, there's a wire that goes to our router, plugs into here. This router gives IP addresses to all the computers or anything that we have plugged in. And then there's another wire that goes to this other one, which is a 48 port switch, because we have more than 6 computers tied in. So we got printers, we got access points, which we get Wi-Fi. We also got computers that are plugged in here. We also have cameras that are plugged in here. And this is our camera recorder. It's called an NVR. Here is our surge suppressor. So this tells us how much power is coming in. And also if we get a surge, this will turn off before it damages any of the equipment. Okay. Then we have a NAS drive that does all our backup for our photos, our computers, anything that we need. And then down on the bottom is the home automation system, which controls all the touchscreens in the house, the lights, and everything else. This is the modem in the apartment. Depending on the provider, you will have either cable or fiber. This one is cable as it says cable right there. That gray wire is how your service provider gives you internet.